this is us back, and we're just going to melt the chocolate now. So I'm going to put some boiling water just in there. We don't need a lot. And
Is
put a bowl over there. Yep. Yep. And can you be trusted?
Maybe.
Yeah. And we're just going to put this on the heat as well. And you want all of them.
We can manage that.
Yeah, all of the chocolate goes in there. And that's just going to melt it nicely. And you want the bowl big enough so that the water doesn't go up the side.
Yeah.
Because you don't want any water in the chocolate. Yeah. You can do it in the microwave, which
I don't trust the microwave.
No.
I like the old, I like the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Or as Nigella would say, the microwave.
So this is one that I made earlier because you need to be able to taste it as well, and yours won't be set. Although it will taste, I can guarantee that yours will taste exactly the same.
Tastes better.
Yes.
It will taste better.
Yeah, because you made it.
It's been made by 3 of us.
Yeah. So what's been the what's your favourite type of photography to do?
For me, it's a toss-up between dogs and sort of children at about the sort of 3 to 4 year old. And if I get dogs and children together, perfect. I just find kids that's like the same humour level as me,
right?
And we just you could just get some really natural giggles and smiles, and I love it.
See, I like a wedding because if you get a wedding with children and dogs and cake, that's like all my favourite things in one place. So I think that's what I like about weddings is you can end up with that kind of perfect mixture.
Yeah.
I like them as well because even if you do 2 weddings in the same venue, they're never the same.
No.
You could do 2 weddings in the same venue a week apart, and they'll be completely different. They're
don't
never
get me
the same.
wrong, I do love a wedding. My body doesn't anymore.
They are brutal, and you need to be fed a lot.
Yes. And I always forget to drink enough.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
the day after, I have what I call a wedding hangover.
We're just going to leave that, and it'll just start to melt away.
Well, it's completely broken.
You're being watched.
So this is one that I made earlier.
Oh, quick, proud baker next to her.
Which is
Hold it up ever so slightly. So you're like, oh, look what I made.
Here's what I made earlier. Yeah. Because you want to be able to taste it.
Yes.
So I have a cutter called an accordion cutter.
Where do you get those from, Deb? Would it be a catering shop?
I think I bought it online. I've had it since before we got the tea room, but it means that especially in the tea room where everybody needed to have the same size, so you can kind of set it and decide how big you're going to do it.
It's a great torture implement.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to take this out. And it just comes straight out.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Do you want these peeled back?
Just peel back just a little bit, and you can see it's all nicely.
Oh, there's escapee. Hang on.
So you have to decide realistically how big you're gonna cut your pieces.
You have to decide how greedy you are.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm gonna do it maybe about there, and then but you can, you can still do it with a knife.
Right.
But this just gives me the marks, and you see how you were asking where the marshmallows go. I actually like the marshmallows on the outside. So you can see that's given me the marks, and then I'm just going to do it the other way. I'll make them slightly less big.
It's a spatula for the chocolate.
Oh yes, just keep giving that just a little stir. Do that. Maybe like that.
Never leave one's chocolate unattended.
No.
No.
No. Oh, get a smelly for me.
give them the marks. That means chop these out.
I mean, I feel like after this, we may both have to reconsider our careers and go into food photography.
And because you've got the marks, you can just.
Oh, listen to that crunch.
Ah. There we go. And you have homemade Rocky Road. How good is that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And you were worried about the marshmallows being naked, the Maltesers being naked.
They don't look naked
Yeah.
or lonely at all.
Now is I've actually turned the heat off
Mhm.
on the chocolate because it's getting hot enough. We'll put that to one side and we're going to taste that along with the sticky toffee pudding and the lovely scones that we've already had.
Get in there.
So what's been the worst thing you've had to take photos of?
So during COVID, and when I wasn't allowed to take pictures of people, small businesses would drop off some of their products at the door, and I would take some photos just to earn some pennies to keep me going. And I took some pictures of, like
just use other gloves because the glass bowl does get a little bit hot. Yep.
Plastic bottles for detergent and stuff, and it was the most boring thing I've ever done in my life. Doesn't answer back, didn't talk, no challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not done a huge amount of static product photography. I photographed wigs.
Wigs?
Yeah, I photographed wigs, which were
Just
quite
got
challenging.
got
Sorry.
In the camera.
Yes, so I photographed some wigs and some hair pieces.
Right.
That was, also...
On models or?
No, which actually probably was harder because they weren't attached to a human. So photographed that was quite hard. And I also photographed 5 litters of newborn puppies, which was lovely. But I smelt like a wet dog for about 2 weeks afterwards, and every single piece of my equipment had to be shampooed. So yeah.
So you must have had things that have gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What's been the biggest disaster that you've had? Because it's a responsibility, isn't it, taking people's wedding photos and
weddings, newborns, that sort of thing. You don't get a second chance at it, especially weddings and when babies are just like a couple of weeks old, they start to change really quickly. I once did a wedding that was really bright outside, but it was really dark inside. So inside, this is a bit technical. So inside, I had a really high ISO and I forgot to change it when I went outside. So all the pictures were completely blown out.
Right. Okay. Which means absolutely nothing to me. Yeah.
It's probably the photography equivalent of massively over baking something.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of
there's not a lot of comeback from that.
Yeah, it's not like
luckily I did twig after one pose and I did manage to change it, but for that one pose I was like, everything was just like, it's okay if your pictures are too dark, you can bring those back in post. But if you blow the highlights, you're buggered. You might want to beat that.
It's like probably like getting water in your chocolate.
Right.
Yeah, the kind of equivalent.
So this is just about melted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off that bowl of water and just let it melt itself. So you can, one of you can give it a stir, not eat.
What about you, Emma? What was your worst?
I don't know if I've had any worst ones. I've had a few quite challenging weddings again during COVID.
Have you had any bridezillas?
I cannot disclose that. All my brides are lovely. A couple of guests that have been quite challenging. But no,
you were saying about people that are planning their wedding like years in advance.
And you also get the odd bridesmaid that thinks it's her wedding.
Yes, I've had a few mothers of the bride like that as well. That can be quite hard work.
Yeah.
We have to edit some of this out as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think I have been really lucky. You do hear some horror stories and you kind of think, crikey, work, you know.
I've never, so far, touch wood. Quickly find some wood. I've never dropped my camera or my
No.
lens or anything like that.
I've never ended up in a fountain, although I
Yeah.
do now bring spare clothes for that very reason. Because I've heard enough horror stories of photographers who've walked backwards into fountains and ponds and things
I
like
did
that.
once at the Dunblane Hydro. I was photographing. It was raining outside, so I was photographing the guests, like the group shot, all on the stairway.
Yes.
And it's got like an automatic door.
Yeah.
And I got trapped in the automatic door, but I still kept taking the pictures, and their laughs were hysterical. It's one of my favourite pictures of the day.
And I have to remember that I like that's a good venue. Their food is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is that all melted?
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
And the heat of the chocolate
Okay.
just melts it.
I think I'd like some nice dribbly pictures of that, if that's okay.
Hang on, I'll do a.
Can you do me a well-timed dribble?
Yes, if you just quick before we. Are you ready?
Yeah,
Tell me when.
That will work for me. Thank you very
Is that
much.
just because you're taking lots of shots all at
Yes,
the
so
same
that's
Yeah.
like a high-speed mode. It's quite good for things that move quickly because.
Can one of you be trusted to pour this?
Go on,
equal
Emma.
Amount?
Go on, Emma.
That will swap halfway through.
Equal
Yeah.
amounts, yep. And spatulas, people laugh at my love of spatulas.
I love a good
They're great
spatula.
because you can scrape.
Yes, and
every
you can
last
lick the
bit.
spatula, obviously,
You can, yeah.
which helps.
I
Is
love a
that
spatula, but
about-
I also have an inordinate amount of wooden spoons. I love a wooden spoon.
Yeah. I prefer
And
a
I have-
spatula.
I have different spoons for different jobs.
So you need to
Start
get
spreading.
yours, and you need to spread
Right.
all your chocolate out.
Is that the right? Is that equal amounts of chocolate?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I mean, I think I might have more, but I'm not going to complain about that.
No, I would.
Oh, this smells so good.
I know.
Hmm.
And I don't want any fighting over who's going to lick the bowl out.
Mine.
So what things? What do you think you've still to? Because it must be a little bit like everything. You're constantly learning, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I ever stop
No.
learning. There's always new techniques and
Yeah.
new things to try. That's what I love about
Yeah.
the job and the different genres. And you know, it's like at the moment there's a real trend in weddings for this direct flash, which I have to say I'm not particularly fond of. But there's other things I like where, you know, people are doing like the champagne explosion, stuff like that. So I'd love to try
What's
that.
a direct flash?
So normally we're taught that the best look of your camera flash is not when it's pointing directly at someone. You get those pictures from the 70s where everybody's kind of looking wide open.
Yeah.
But what's happening now is the people that are getting married now, that's the pictures they remember from their youth. So it's all about nostalgia
Right.
Yeah.
and so they like these direct flash pictures. It's just become very
make sure
trendy.
you've
Yeah.
got no naked Maltesers.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's that what people the age of your couples now, and obviously what they remember, and it feels quite strange because obviously we're now getting an increase in couples who have been born in
The
since the
digital.
2000s.
Yeah.
So they have no recollection of film, which feels really weird. Like the little kind of tiny point and shoot. Wait there. The little kind of point and shoot cameras.
Oh,
That were
sorry, did you
popular.
capture that?
I never
They,
do that.
you know, they're really fashionable.
I never lick the spoon. No.
Yeah.
No.
You don't need to clean that now.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. So you should have enough with one bag to do both.
I'm going to need to do this now. Hang on.
If not, we've got some spare ones.
This is where I should probably have tied my hair back.
managed to get all over your hands.
Have we mad?
Like it.
I should give you a lick.
No.
No.
Oh, sorry, that's
Okay, can you cut that out?
right. So I'll just
That's a
sprinkle. You just sprinkle them on. You
Just
don't.
sprinkle them on, and then just press them in once you've got. I've got another bag if there's not enough.
Oh, I'm sure there's more than enough.
You can never have enough marshmallows, can you?
No.
Yeah. And you can see why you were asking where do the marshmallows go? 'Cause
Yeah.
some people mix them in.
Yeah.
I actually think they look nicer.
I think then they might. Right, I've left more than enough in there for you to.
That's good to share. We'll all be in trouble.
And then just press them down so that they're actually stuck into the
Oh,
into the
that
chocolate.
feels nice.
Yeah.
Oh, doing my Nigella again.
Oops, I've got an escaped marshmallow.
When I was telling Jim that I was doing this, he says, "What are you making?" I said, "Rocky Road." He says, "You got all that chocolate with those two coming." I was like, "Yes."
Yep. I mean, it's like this is like perfect wedding food for me because it's like something that you can eat with one hand in the car while you're going from bridal prep.
That feels almost deviant. I really like that.
This is in grave danger of becoming X-rated, isn't it? Do you need some more marshmallows?
No, I think I'm good. But if you've got some, we can stick some like where there's some gaps.
Would you like to hold that piece up for the camera, Janet? The actual Rocky Road.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Just the one piece. Just
just a small square.
Yeah. Hold that up and you can see.
Oh.
That. Yeah.
Mmm.
Yeah. And we're going to taste that after lunch. Yes. Yeah.
Hang on there. I need a bit more face.
Oh.
Bring it towards your mouth. Perfect. Thank you.
And you will get some of you actually eating them.
Oh yes.
Choose all the marshmallows. Later.
Oh.
That is a lot of marshmallows.
What's it?
Well, you need to press them in on there just to
sorry.
feel what it's
To
like.
feel what it's like.
It's like ever so soft pillows.
I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
I like to cook with all my senses.
Mm.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
That is gorgeous. Yeah.
And there you have 2 Rocky Roads.
Ta-da!
You are then going to take one of them home, and so there is a thing that if you don't cut the cake, you are actually only having one piece.
That is very good logic, which I like.
I like
So
that.
you could actually just say that as one piece of Rocky Road.
Yes.
You might be in a diabetic coma.
Do you know what I found about being an
sweating.
adult? Nobody checks. You can eat the whole thing. Nobody checks.
I have a husband who will judge me a lot.
I know. But because it's
Not if you
so,
eat it in the car on the way.
but because it's so full of all this goodness and like the digestive biscuits themselves are quite filling. The good chocolate, the Maltesers. I can guarantee that you'll have one piece and you won't want to take another one because you will have had enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas the cheap, nasty stuff, you're like,
I'm not satisfied. I'll have another
yeah,
bit. Yeah.
But using the good quality stuff just does. Yeah.
So, what could you do? Different variations? Could you do ginger biscuits or
ginger biscuits? I've done it before, and instead of Maltesers, I've used the Aero balls. You could do anything. You could do. So when I make it gluten and dairy free, I make my own cinder toffee to replace the Maltesers.
Nice.
So, but I mean, you could just chop up crunchy bars. Really, you could
How
just
about
do
a Jaffa cake? Could you do this with a Jaffa cake? Because I feel that that's a combination that I could get
I
excited
don't think the
about.
Jaffa cake would give you a crunch.
That's true.
No.
Just dry out there. Although, to be fair, that would involve leaving Jaffa cakes, and I don't think that would happen.
No,
I could eat a
you
whole
need
box.
something that's gonna give you a crunch.
Yeah.
Because even the Aero balls have that little bit of a crunch, but toffee crisps.
Ooh. Yeah.
So something that gives you that bite, so that you feel. Because if you don't have that bite, you can eat too many.
Yeah.
This is obviously where I've been going wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's Mr. M just coming back with Florence. He's just in time to make our lunch for us. Yeah,
Perfectly timed.
You have a great arrangement going
Yes.
Okay, and we will do our last video of us actually eating the Rocky Road.
Ooh.
Yeah.